Hello viewers, welcome once more to my page. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Today we'll continue with sexual health. Remember, I said from August to September we're dealing on sexual health. And please, I want you to know that sexual health is not all about sex in bed. As I earlier said during our former session, our previous session, there is more to it than that. So we'll be looking at sexual health, the factors of sexual health. What are those things that affects your health? And by the way, I want you to know that sexual health is a physical, social, mental, and emotional well being of a person relating to sexuality and not merely the absence of a disease. And so, when we are talking about sexual health, there are things we are looking at. One, self esteem. You ask me what does self-esteem has to do with sexual health? It has a whole lot. Let me explain. When we are talking about self-esteem, it means you need to come to that point where you're so confident in yourself. You like the way you look. You love the beauty you have in you. Many ladies are being body shamed, and many are going into liposuctions and all whatnot just because they feel downcasted. They have a low self-esteem. They are inferior. Everybody wants to have a big breast. Everybody wants to have a boot. Everybody wants to have figure eight shape. It is good, but if you think at it well, or if you check well, you see that 85% of these women who try to change how they look, they have low self-esteem. And this indeed affects sexual health, because when you have a good sexual health knowledge, you know that the way you look is just perfect for you. And you will definitely be someone's taste. Not everyone likes a chubby lady. Men have their taste. Some like chubby ladies, some like skinny ladies. So people will be like, I too dry, I don't like bone, I don't like bonga, I don't like rope, I don't like needle. So looking at that, you will see that you don't have a good sexual health. Now, going to the other point will be fast. We're looking at sexual freedom. Wow. I know you'll be like, what does sexual freedom has to do with sexual health? Let me explain. Sexual freedom means that you have the ability to stay in a pure sexually free relationship, or stay out of sexually relationship as long as you want without being under pressure. We live in a society whereby people will think that if you're sexually not active, it means something is wrong with you. Just imagine a girl of 27, 28 years and you tell someone I'm still a virgin. They will think you're sick. They will think maybe it's because you're not opportune. That's why maybe you have not have a good guy that has approached you. That's what they will think, but that's not actually the case. And so due to pressure from peers, you will think you are not up to standard because you're not sexually active. And as such, you want to start doing what others are doing. It means you don't have a good sexual health. You don't have a good sexual health orientation, because when you're well orientated, you will understand that you have a freedom to your sexual life. You have freedom to decide if you're going in or not. And I think morals has made us to understand that a good sexual health stays abstinence till marriage. So you need to have your freedom, your sexual freedom, that if you say I'm not fornicating, it stands that way. Nobody pressurizes you to go into the fornication when you didn't want to. Yes, that is it. I think we are not getting what sexual health is all about. Another thing is sexual discrimination. I know you'll be like, sexual discrimination. Now, sexual discrimination is a situation whereby you didn't get something, or you got something not because you merited it, but simply because of your gender. For example, let's say I'm a lady. I'm a lady. Actually, let's say I'm a lady. I went for a job interview with another guy. The guy is more qualified than I am. He merited the job, but because I'm a lady and the employer thinks maybe he can hang around with me, maybe we can have a relationship, we can, so due to that he decided to give me the job instead of the guy. That is sexual discrimination. It means someone who merited something didn't get it, and I wouldn't. I actually have it because I think I'm a woman. I can get whatever I want with my body. This is sexual discrimination, and it happens in our society, and people don't even take it into consideration. Another aspect of sexual discrimination Another place of sexual discrimination is how we Africans will practice a patriarchal system. Patriarchal system is a system whereby much value and respect is being given to the male child. You see, sometimes in the home they'll be like, "Not touch my boy picking it, that boy picking on my own." They get picking our born and our ghost, show mommy. So we don't know that when we continue with this sexual discrimination, it affects one physically, emotionally, socially. There's some people who are too timid. They are all to themselves. They feel so inferior because they have experienced sexual discrimination in several aspects. You see, sometimes because you're a lady, people bully you anyhow because they know that you can't fight back. Especially men, they are fond of that during university days. A guy can just walk up to you, sees your back, sees your pulse. If you want to talk, you just land on two dick slaps. Say after all, you can't retaliate. You don't have the strength to fight. This is sexual discrimination, and it affects sexual health a lot. That's why sometimes you see people try to go into transformism. You see a man wanting to be dressing more like a woman, wants to transform like a woman because he thinks that women are being treated better off than men. You see a woman wanting to become a man because she feels that men are being treated better off than women. So all this is due to sexual discrimination. So instead of focusing your mind of sexual health to be only on sex, please look at the factors that build up sexual health. And this has affected our generation so much so that many youths are not even themselves. You see someone is a man behaving like a woman going to be a man. There's a kind of too much mix up somewhere. We have gays, the number of gays is increasing on daily basis in developed countries. Lesbians are increasing on daily basis. Why? Because of sexual discrimination. So if you have a proper knowledge on sexual health, you will know how to avoid sexual discrimination. Me some boy not tell some girl say, I go slap you, I go beat you black and blue, you could do me nothing because you've been a woman, you don't get power. It is wrong. That's sexual discrimination. And it's not good for sexual health. Another stuff we'll be dealing on, which is very important, and I pray that mothers should have a keen attention, is sexual violence. Wow, sexual violence. And I know a lot of us will think that sexual violence is all about rape. No, it's not all about rape. Sexual violence means that someone carries out a sexual activity of any kind towards you without your consent, without your approval. The person just did it. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a male friend whom you visited and people were discussing, and suddenly he just gave you a peck or a kiss. That's so rude. That's so disrespectful. It's wrong. And we do it sometimes thinking that you just want to show your affection. Excuse you, it's wrong. Especially if you're not married, it's wrong. So that's sexual violence. And it falls mostly on our teenagers. You see an uncle molesting a child, not even a teenager, a child of 7. I've seen cases where uncles have been molesting their nieces, sleeping with their nieces. A girl child of 7 years is already having sex. She doesn't even know what it's even all about. Why? Because she doesn't have proper knowledge on sexual health. If she had knowledge of sexual health, she would have known what sexual violence is all about. So sexual violence is letting you to know that there are places in your body that no one needs to touch without your permission. There are things that no one needs to do to you without your permission. You need to permit whatever is coming to you. So mothers, can you kindly teach your daughters, the young angels who are coming up, oh dear, nobody needs to touch this, nobody needs to touch that, nobody needs to go into you. This is wrong, this is black, this is blue. We need to air out to our younger generation. This will serve them, this will save them from the hands of demons in the names of uncles and neighbors. And now, that being said, in summary, we'll be looking at how to resolve ill sexual health, sexual ill health. We'll just give a summary to all. One, talking about communication. You will ask me, how will communication resolve a sexual ill health? Let me explain. To those who are, let's say they are being molested by uncles, neighbors, or anyone. Maybe you're a lady, you're not comfortable around a friend of yours. Maybe he comes around, he tries to hug you unannounced, pets you or kisses you. You need to talk to the person. You need to tell him, I don't like what you're doing. So one of the resolutions is communication. Speak out. Speak out. Speak out. Be outspoken. You don't die in silence. Bro, I beg you, why you can corner me? I beg not try and pet me again. I'm not your woman. I'm not married to you. You speak out your discomfort. Maybe you have someone who always tries to hang around your house in the middle of the night and you don't like, you're not comfortable with the person's activities. You speak out. Another thing is acceptance. Now, when we come to acceptance, we'll be relating to the cases of sexual violence. For example, I'm a lady and I'm in my house, I'm dressing up, and a male friend of mine just bashed into my room without knocking. And it happens I was naked or half naked, and he sees me. Wow. It's so heartbroken, it's so disheartening. At that moment, you feel like disappear, you just feel like vanishing from the surface of the earth. But it has happened. And most often, when you see the guy, you'll be like, oh, he don't see me. Or, you just want to give in. You just want to give in. So you need to speak out your discomfort. You need to accept. Maybe you were raped, and in the process of that rape, you got pregnant due to the rape, or maybe you got infected with an STD or an STI. With sexual health, we guarantee you that that's not the end of the world. You still have hopes. There is hopes for you. There is hopes in the future. You just need to gather yourself and move on with your life. That's not the end of the world. There are better days ahead to come. So sexual health assures you of a bright future and hope if only you learn to accept the situation and circumstances that have befallen you in the past. You grab it, you learn your lessons, and you build a solid future. And another thing is you need to be able to control your sexual desires. Wow, we are in the generation where a lot of people have engaged into sexual intercourse, not because they actually wanted to, but because they couldn't even control themselves. You will just see as a man, hmm? You will see a girl just passing half naked, and before you know it, you're lost. In fact, you just change your direction. You're following at the gate, you go sorry, you go. Are you serious? And before you know it, you start masturbating. Before you know it, you can even rape somebody. Sometimes we even go and we watch porns, we watch pornography. This is wrong because porns will increase your sexual urge. It stimulates your hormones, and I want you to know that what causes sexual arousals are hormones. So, for you to be able to control your sexual desires, be it a born again or not, but I'm talking precisely to born again because most it's only a born again, a majority are born again who will be like, Father, I cannot do this, I cannot do this, and will stay pure, sexually pure, no fornication. Amen. Amen. But it's not just by prayer. There are things that prayers won't do alone. Set boundaries, avoid visiting. Whatever whatever that tries to, like stir you up sexually, to intrigue that sexual arousal, avoid it. Is it love songs, slow songs, unnecessary female friends? Cut ties, boycott relationships, reading love charts, love novels, avoid it. You should be able to control your sexual behavior, your sexual habits, your sexual arousals. Because if you don't learn to control it, they will actually control you. And when your emotions, when your hormones start controlling you, know that you're leading yourself in a very great danger in the future. We'll end here for today. Please, I wish to know your thoughts in the comment section. Please help me with your questions and contributions. See you for the next session. Ciao.